For this weekend of racing, I had nothing but trouble with that.
Got no power and no brakes.
My Lonsin 413 engine. I had problem after problem, but no matter what I did, I was way down on power. But taking that for what it is, can I still get a win despite these problems? Well, this was a weekend of trying to find that out. So this weekend we're in Braintree, what we used to call the Great Maze. And here we are, just going out to figure out this track. It's going to be a nice tight twisty one today. Down into this middle hairpin, then out again into another hairpin. There's going to be lots of tight corners on this circuit. I'm just figuring it out. First time on the mower. Feels very, very smooth actually at this stage. Flicking it into the back straight. Only a short little back straight, so we've got a tiny little 20-tooth gear. One of the smallest we run. Into the right-hander, through the timing loop. Then we've got another right-hand hairpin here before the left that we've just gone through. So once we've gone around, I started to notice an issue. I didn't have the power I should have.
The clutch is flicking and it's spluttering, so let's figure that out.
So there's my diagnosis. Time to pull up the back of the mower, uncover the clutch and figure out why the clutch wasn't working. I had a spacer in the wrong spot. So I got that fixed. Now it's back out to try it again, still with some practice time remaining. Now, one thing I must explain is that the engine I've previously been using has been on the mower for 2 years. I was starting to think it was getting a little bit tired, so I borrowed this one, which actually the team I raced for in the 12-hour ran in the 2019 12-hour. You can see the sticker on the front of the engine there. So it hasn't been run for a little while, but it's only done 6 hours of running because they snapped their axle. So I was hoping it would be good.
I've got no power and no brakes.
So with no time to fix it before the first race, we cracked on anyway. On the start line, drop in the clutch, and off we go into the race. We've got Dino and Stu coming past there behind me. Currently we're having a look up the inside, and we're going to go past Hayden Clegg. And then we've got 3 mowers in front to try and navigate our way through, making that move. I've lost a little bit of time. So Algradas and Devon are off taking the lead here. So just trying to find our way through. Definitely still feeling I was, 60% power of what I should have. And look, running down this straight, you can see everyone finds it so easy to come past me. Now, I knew for a fact that I was running similar gearing to everyone else, so also on a 20-tooth, because that was the minimum everyone could run, and that kind of made sense with this track. So I was having to kind of race around it and drive a little bit differently. I'm up behind Devon here. You can see down the straights he pulls away from me, but I'm managing to push it into the corners. I'm having to drive it so hard into the corners. You can see me shaking my head there, because Devon just pulls out a couple of mowers length gap. We're up the inside here though, so we do manage to make the move just by driving a little bit differently, carrying some momentum through the corners. Despite this engine being frustrating at times, I was learning here with how to drive into the corners a little bit harder. Stewie does not find it hard to come past. Just drives straight past me, and that was the end of that race. And that presented me with a problem to fix here. Our goal now is to try and get a couple of podiums in these heat races. See what we can do. The mower's feeling better. The engine feels like it's gradually getting better. The brakes have definitely got better. The T-drive was leaking a bit, so I wonder if some oil got on the disc and then the pads, and that's why the brakes weren't very good earlier. So they're coming back to me now in that championship race. Let's see how we do.
Right, let's see if we can get this engine working better. I have to drive it so hard into all the corners.
Now that was definitely wishful thinking, but I was hoping there was just some oil in the wrong places, like this engine had been resting for a period of time. It hadn't been used since 2019, so 6 years. Who knows here? Anyway, into this first race. We're going to try around the outside of Hayden. Got a good move there into this top corner. Hopefully he's going to hold up everyone behind me so I can try and run away. I know I'm down on lap time here, so I'm having to drive this so hard, braking late into the corners, trying to carry as much momentum as I can. That does mean I'm prone to mistakes, but this was the only way I could extract any lap time really compared to everyone else here. Just trying to run away here. Strategy would become an element later on in this. But look, you can see we're just trying to get a really good launch out of every single one of the corners, braking as late as I dare into that corner. But we've got Stu all over the back of us, coming out of that corner one more time. And you can see Stu's got a good launch, but he does just manage to drive. He's got, what, 2 mower lengths in terms of extra pace down the straight there, so he's up in front of me. Now I'm trying not to let that get to me, just lock in, follow his rear bumper, don't make any more mistakes. I know Dino's going to be coming through the field, another really, really fast racer, and I did manage to grab a second there just by keeping it tidy and running that a little bit better. But we had two main goals here, to try and get a win, also to try and get a podium overall, and I knew my greatest rival would be Algredas.
Issue.
Oh really? What's up?
Always braking. I shouldn't brake part. No, not part.
Okay.
And now it's always braking.
Oh no.
So Algredas was having problems with the brake dragging, but we'll see if that became an element in this championship race, a longer race, for our third one of this video, locking in behind him. So Algredas starts in the lead. That's because we are still hanging on just a little bit ahead in the championship. I make a small mistake going into that bottom corner, so we've got Dino all over us. He's going to try around the outside, but so difficult because there was that really soft dust on the outside, and I do make a mistake sliding into that here. So Dino's going to come past me. I knew that's going to happen at some point, so I may as well just slot in behind him and hope he can hold Algredas up, who's in front of me, and hopefully he'll come back towards me. I know that's where my race is. I've still got Stewie all over the back of me. You can't quite see him in the camera angle. So Dino's made his way past. Algredas on the number 5 is starting to come back to me here. What can we do to try and pull up the back? But I know he's got an engine that's working nicely, but he's got brake issues to compensate for my lack of power. So let's see where we sit on lap times together. But I'm having to fight Stewie now, defending, going narrow on the way into this corner. What can we do? He's going to try the inside, and he's going to go slightly deep, and I'm going to try and cut him back. What can we do? No. And so Stewie's come past. Now again, I've got to hope the same thing. As Stewie disappears up the road, because he's got a very fast mower, very fast driver, that he holds up Algredas, and we'll see what happens here just as we fast forward ahead. And exactly what I hoped for was happening here. Stewie had cut back on Algredas and managed to grab the position, but he did so pretty quickly, so he didn't hold him up. So it's time to get my head down again. Maximum speed deployed. Then about 6 laps later, I was starting to pull up to the back of Algredas. Now, I actually thought it was a problem with my mower, but I started to smell something getting hotter and hotter. I later learned it was his brakes. And so actually, once I got up behind him, I think he was really, really struggling and didn't want to have a failure. He's going to be racing that mower against us in the 12-hour. And so just waved me through. And at this point, I could relax a little bit all the way to the checkered flag.
Happy?
Yeah, that was good.
That's good.
It was smelling more and more of brakes. His brakes were on, I think.
Now, here's where we had something change slightly in our favour. So going into this sprint race, we were going to have a joker lap. So it was going to be a strategic element we might be able to use to extract some more results out of this performance we've got with the engine. So let's see how this goes. Straight up to second place in this first race. We've got Josh Stiles on that handlebar bug out in front of me. I have a go on that in a later video that's coming up on this channel. See how different that is. But we're locked in, trying to gain on him as we go down this back straight. Again, he's got a little bit more straight line speed than us, so having to drive it harder into the corners. You know, so I'm trying to get really close to the apex and carry a nice wide line there. So as we come through for lap 2, we're able to take the joker lap, and I used that to overtake him. Now it's time to put in the best lap we possibly can, driving into this top corner, carrying speed all the way out to the outside. I actually had to lift a little bit there because I carried too much speed. And that was something I was having to learn here. It was a really good learning challenge, but 2 laps later, we've got Stewie all over the back of us. He'd also taken the joker lap at the same time to try and avoid Josh. So now we have to defend whilst also driving as fast as we can, because we don't know who else hasn't taken their joker lap, and they could jump us. Coming through this time, there's no one coming out of the exit there. So I think we're still in the net lead here, but anything could change at any moment. I get slightly up on 2 wheels there over a bump, so we're having to cover the inside, going into this bottom corner, and we are going to come through to take a win. And this one, I really was not expecting that. A good result there after managing to keep everyone behind us.
We'll take that.
So yeah, we definitely take that. But there were more opportunities to come in this weekend.
You got the joker lap right that time, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
The last race, you took it too late.
Yeah, I couldn't get past Josh. So I was like, please don't take the joker lap, and then he didn't. And I was like, right, off I go. It's just spluttering a lot.
So solid race there, red a bit. led a bit over Dino and Stu. Dino sent it down the inside, managed to cut back and that kind of thing. So that was a good race. Those two are just faster. And I was having trouble with the carb spluttering. So it's like not enough fuel to the engine. So I'm going to try and swap the carb. I think the float like jumps over the bumps. Obviously that's what cuts the fuel going into the carb. Some of the carbs are better than others, or like I don't know if the one I've got is blocked up or whatever. Try and get this one to work. In case anyone's getting into this, you've got the jet with the hole, you've got to make sure that's clear. And then the emulsion tube, and it's got loads of holes in the side. You've kind of got to, I run a piece from like a wire brush. Okay, that usually cleans it out. Yeah, there you are, that's good. Check all the ports in here, so and then emulsion tube in that way, jet in there, and then just do that. So let's see if this works. Now, frustratingly on this mower with the Lawnmower engine, you have to take the front panel off to change the carb. So I did that, and it's time to go out and try it just before this next race. As I'm going on the throttle, it sounds marginally better. No spluttering so far. Picking up a little bit better.
Okay. Alright, good race, mate. That was fun.
Yeah, we were like here.
Yeah, I felt my arm like this. I felt, whoa. I felt like it's not right. I just felt I was in you.
Yeah, we were like.
No, this ain't right.
Now you can really tell we're all racers. We love that. We love that close racing, and this race was no different, but it definitely caught me out in one respect. So stay tuned here on the line. Get a decent start. Because we won the previous race, we're going to start behind everyone, so we're at the back of the pack here as we come through this top corner. Now I'm just trying to gain the time on the brakes here. Driving into this top corner, everyone's very, very close. It's dusty, slightly hard to pick out your lines. You can't see the bumps quite as clearly as you can when you haven't got people in front of you. I'm just desperately trying to do anything I can to get up to the back of these guys before the Joker starts to become a factor. Josh is covering the inside as we go through here, so we're braking late. He actually spins. Have to avoid him. Everyone goes in the Joker, so I'm going to hook down the inside. Devon is still up the inside, and we managed to just slightly upbrake him. I don't know if I left him entirely enough space there, so apologies. I think he took out a block there, but no harm done, I don't think, overall. So now, with everyone going through the Joker, I've got to push as hard as I possibly can. I'm trying to find any lap time I can to try and get a jump. I know Stu and Dino are going to be behind other people, so we're going to come through to take the Joker line. I turn in, and actually, there's someone in the way. I have to do anything I can to tell them, watch this. I'm turning in here, looking at the bollard, now looking up, and only just noticing him. Now look, we're all racers, we're all signed on. You're allowed to watch the racing from wherever. In theory, it should be behind the ropes, but you know, it's how it goes. And I knew, obviously, he didn't mean to stand there, so everything's fine. We spoke at the end, it's all good. But that one caught me out. That one definitely caught me out. That was a bit scary. Third place, it's alright. So after a few more disappointing races, it was time for the evening. But before we could chill out, I had to check everything over on this mower. I checked over the carb, and then also took off the timing cover and checked all the timing clearances before we got going.
Other things.
Then it was time for dinner. Solid dinner. And actually tonight there was a bit of a party in the field. Happy birthday, Claire. I think she arranged a birthday party, and it was a load of fun.
And you made it then? Think so. I do always have a spare, mate, so if you get stuck, just give us a shout.
Thank you, man. I can only fit one in if Emma doesn't come.
Wife mower.
So after waiting for practice and weighing up that predicament, I went to get started only to find there was another issue. And look here, you can see even worse now. The engine is backfiring through the carb and I could not get it to run right. So it's time to push this mower back. Despite checking the carb, cleaning it all out, and then also checking the valve clearances, we've still got problems. Just went out for practice and engine won't run right, it's backfiring through the carb. I don't know what the problem is, so just gonna have to swap another carb.
hopefully get it running, but it does mean I'm missing out on practice.
So 2 M6 nuts and an M6 screw.
Now I let
the
this
carb comes
carb
off.
to Paul yesterday and it was running alright on his mower, so let's hope we can trust this one.
So proven carb goes back on. Doesn't run right to start, but I'm hoping it's going to clear up.
That's fine. Or okay anyway.
So pulling out to get started for our first race.
Right, let's go. Let's see if we can get this to work.
So on the grid, revs building, and we're going to dump the clutch and get going. A little bit low in the revs while we get started, pulling away. We've got Dino all over the back of us, heading into the dust around this top corner. Obviously, we're running the track the other way round, as we tend to do on the second day to keep things a little bit different. Can't take the joke lap on the first lap. Devon runs a little bit wide. Hayden's going to have a look around the outside. What can we do to follow him through? So we're going to stick a nose up the inside and see if we can get past Hayden. Yes, we do manage to do that. Now we've got Devon in our sights, and he actually runs a little bit wide again. We managed to pull alongside, but he's still got that engine power to pull ahead. I try again, and again he manages to pull back ahead. So we're going to have to try something different. Maybe make a move on the brakes. We're having a look up the inside here. Is that going to work? No. He doesn't take the joker lap, so we managed to go through there. No one else taking the joker lap on the first lap. Normally I find it's definitely worth doing that if you're in the lead going into that second lap. But time to get our head down now. Speed boost engaged. Trying to get through here, and I come out to block Stu, but actually he's got the momentum to come past. And I knew I tried to position the mower in the way so he can get through, but he just had the momentum to make that work. And again, Algradas manages to do it, and then also Dean has come through. So our lap definitely wasn't quick enough there. These guys were looking really fast.
Change the spark plug, I think.
So in the spirit of still trying to fix this thing, trying anything we possibly can. And again, I'm coming into this weekend not knowing this engine very well.
You feel like you have some pace?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Whoa, look how burnt out that spark plug is. It's hot.
Yeah, it's really sooty as well, isn't it? That's running quite rich.
But look at the middle bit. It's like burnt.
Yeah.
So hoping we made some progress. I went out in practice just to see what it was going to do. It seemed to be running a little bit better. We're finding marginal gains here, but nothing revolutionary. So Devon and Hayden leading again out at the start. So we're going to try around the outside here of Devon, late on the brakes. We managed to make one move. I'm going to try and do exactly the same again, this time to the outside of Hayden. So first 3 corners, we've got 2 moves done. Really happy with that, and hopefully those guys will hold up Dino and Stu behind. So time to get our head down. Again, speed boost engaged through this top corner. Flat out down this back straight. You can still hear the engines running slightly flat. Not pulling as hard as I like, so I'm having to drive it really hard into these hairpins. So we're going to take the joker lap to hold track position to see if we can block everyone and hold on for a win. What can we do here? After that lap, we come out just in front of Dino, managed to hang on there, but it means he's all over the back of us. Survived this time, covering off the inside to make sure he can't make a move down the inside, trying to get a good exit out of this hairpin. It was the slow speed exits that I was really struggling with. You can see Dino's all over the back of us, but still managing to hang on. He's trying the outside, but that is definitely the low ground compared to the inside line. So I'm just trying to do what I can to join the dots between the apexes, make sure he hasn't got a line down the inside. Hard on the brakes here through this really technical hairpin. These corners were so tight. And I'm trying to get a good launch out of here. This time not quite the launch I was looking for. Dino and Stu are all over the back of us now. Coming down this back straight. And just the engine splutters exactly when I need it. On the exit there, just a slight sputter that meant Dino got a good line up the inside. You can hear Stu all over the back of me. Rubbin is definitely racing here, and I think I was just a little bit slower through the apex than he expected. How's this launch? Still tidy, but just not quite the power we need, and this was the problem this weekend. Stu is going to try the outside. Now listen to this engine. And just one misfire, one splutter, and it meant I couldn't hang on to the inside there. And that was that race done then. 3rd place was where we were going to finish.
My engine cut out exactly when I needed it, twice.
Right, group 4's heat A. So exactly when I needed it, twice on the straight, my engine spluttered, and that let both Dino and Stu through, which is so frustrating because I managed to get them, and then just had to hold him behind, and the straights where I'm weak, so.
It's still popping and banging, isn't it?
Yeah.
Weird. It's going all right.
Dino's is as well, though.
Is it?
So Alfie from the outside, still hearing the issues I was having. We were chatting this morning about, was there anything I missed, anything I hadn't checked yet that could be the issue here?
Right, let's see if we can get our greeter.
And we're starting to think it's just that this engine has been sat around for so long. For this longer champ race, what can we do here? Because Agradas is still a little bit behind us in the championship race, he starts ahead, and so that's going to mean getting past is going to be tricky. Dino's on the inside, collects a couple of bollards, not quite alongside enough, and then there wasn't loads of space there. Following these three down into this top corner, we're going to slot in behind our greeters. Couple of bollards go wide, and Josh is really, really wide. Can we cut him back on this corner? We get a really tidy exit and manage to pull past him. Right, so now we've got Agradas in our sights, but can we hang with him? Running down this straight, you can see everyone just has so much more power. But again, I don't want to keep going on about that. Just trying to find ways to drive around it, and that was a really good learning this weekend, was how to drive into the corners with a little bit more speed to try and extract any more pace. And here Stewie's got up the inside after trying to take a slightly wider line. But I'm not going to let that get to me. I know those two are going to get past. I just have to see what I can do to catch the guys ahead of them to try and still get a third. That's our best realistic chance here. Tipping it into his really fast corner, starting to get bumpy halfway through this second day. You can see the dust really becomes an issue here at times. It's slightly better behind the goggles than it is through the camera, but not much. So Agradas is going to go for a move on Devon. He makes his way through. Following the 24, we're going to be racing these two in the 12 hour. They're actually on a team together this year, so that's going to be a really interesting video coming up soon. Big race we're prepping for at the moment. As we come through, I'm trying to get a really tidy exit. Devon's slightly up on two wheels. That could be a hint of some mistakes to come, or that could be an opportunity. We'll see. Coming through this top corner, again, I'm carrying slightly more apex speed, but I just don't have the grunt to get alongside on the straight. So we're going to have to try and do this in the braking zone, or on one of the exits maybe. Keeping it really tidy through his right-hand hairpin. Now opening up this corner, Devon's gone in very narrow. Can we get a good exit? We're up alongside, but again, that power of that Honda engine, which is normally a little bit down on power compared to the Lonsins, but not compared to mine anyway, my GP2 engine. Now deeper on the brakes, we're pulling back up. So we managed to gain the gap we lose on the straights on the brakes. So that's a good sign, definitely. We're all over the back of Devon, just trying to pressure him into any mistake. These races are so long and you get so tired through them. I know a mistake is possible. We've managed to find that. And we've blocked Devon off and finally managed to get through. And now it's going to be a case of bringing it home for the next 8 laps or so. And through the checkered flag, we're happy with that one.
Oh. A tricky race, that one. I couldn't catch Agradas. I got stuck behind Devon and you got away.
Oh. He's getting faster than
He is fast, he is fast. Not bad though, we'll take 4th. Just waiting for one more heat, but look at this. On this side, which is the inside tyre, decent amount of tread. On the outside tyre, it's so worn down. So I'm actually going to swap them around so they wear more evenly. But these harder surfaces wear the tyres like anything. Last season, a couple of sets did the whole season. This season, these are my 3rd set. So when it's dry, it's definitely harder on the tyres.
So with these tyres swapped over now then, just 3 M8 screws on each side, it was time to get started for the last race of the week this weekend. What can we do? After a tricky result in the previous heat race, we're second on the grid here. We've got Hayden Clegg in front of us, heading down this bottom corner. I was really determined to try and get a result in this race. So he's going to cover the inside. I'm going to go late on the brakes, try and throw it around the outside, just 1 mower width wider. You run the risk of running wide on that dust, but we managed to get the move done. So now we're pushing like anything. You can see I'm really hustling here, trying to see what we can do. Stewie making a move in the background, running around this bottom corner, trying to carry as much momentum as we can. We're going to take the Joker lap on the first lap. This tends to be the best strategy for me anyway. Now we've secured the lead. This was all going to be about making no mistakes and trying to drive the best laps possible. So the first 2 laps, nothing really to see here. I didn't make any crucial mistakes. I managed to keep things tidy and drive some decent laps. Devon is still hanging on to Dino behind. through again. We managed to survive one more lap, but we've got Stu all over the back of us. So now we've got to start driving a bit of a defensive race. You can see I'm hugging the inside down this straight. Not where I want to be, but it means you can't put a move up the inside. Coming into this top corner, keeping it super, super tidy. I can't risk running wide, even slightly, or they'll get you. They will throw a nose up the inside and then they'll be past. That was it. Trying to square off this corner and get the best exit possible. Coming round this bottom corner. Still hugging the inside. Stewie's going to be all along the back. Oh, there you are. You can see him. He's pushing as hard as he can. He's around the outside, but we managed to still just hang on. What can we do here? We managed to grab it, squeeze him into the apex around this right-hander. We're side by side still. And then this left-hander gives me back the lead again. Square it off, try and get a good exit. And we're going to come through to take the checkered flag. Turns out you can win a race on an engine like that. But you have to get absolutely everything right.
Oh, come on!
Thank you guys very much for watching. We did manage to get third overall in the end there. Stick around for the next video.
There we go, that was hard fought, but hey, we got a win. Did everything right there. I made a small mistake, but got away with it in the infield. Slowed it down a bit too much, thought Stu was going to come past. But managed to just park it all the way. Yes, we take those. That's what we go racing for. Oh, right.